Good afternoon, everyone. This is the time and place for Grand Forks Growth Fund on February 23rd, 2006. First, roll call, please.
Berg. Here. Crary.
Here.
Friedolfs.
Here.
Osowski. Osowski. She is online.
Here. Sorry.
That's okay. Wallowak.
Here.
Whitney.
Here.
And Wolf. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. So first, I've got a few comments. First, I wanted to thank Jonathan Holth for his time here on the board. Little right up here. He was here for nearly 8 years of service on the Growth Fund. He joined us on the committee back in 2018 and has served as the vice chair for more than half that time. Jonathan also brought a thoughtful perspective and valuable expertise throughout his time on the committee. I personally enjoyed working with him. He was a great expertise in a lot of things, and brought a lot of logic and a lot of smarts to this. And then we have a very exciting night tonight. I would like to present Matt Wallowak. I've pronounced your name for so many years wrong, just like mine too. So. To the Growth Fund Committee, he was recently appointed to serve out the remainder of Mr. Holth's term. You join us with a wealth of knowledge, and we are very excited to have you here and see how the wheels turn. So appreciate it, and wearing a tie making us all look bad. So
I have to go to work after.
Yeah, welcome, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
we can have you bring some food next time. All right. Number 3, we have the election of the vice chair.
There you go. Thank you, Chairman Friedolfs, members of the committee. With Mr. Holt's departure, he has served as our vice chair for the past several years. So with his departure, we're in need of a new chair or a new vice chair rather, to fill out his remaining term. This would just be until July, actually, after the election. That's usually when we, again, will designate a chair and vice chair for the committee. Code specifies that the chair of the Growth Fund Committee has to be a city council representative, but any committee member is eligible for vice chair. Traditionally, though, the chair has been a city council representative, the vice chair has been a non-city council. There's nothing in code that mandates that, but just so you're aware for traditional context.
I'd like to nominate Matt Wallowak.
I would like to nominate Russell Crary.
I'll second.
For Russell?
Yes.
Okay. So we have first and a second for Russell. All in favor? I'll say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Russell, you are now the vice chair. Have a nice warm.
Thanks. And Matt, you're definitely just as capable. So I'd been fine with that too. And just one quick note, apologize I'm not there in person. Usually I make it in person. I get about 5 o'clock. I got an appointment I'll have to dash. So if you see me at about 5 or about 2 minutes to 5, maybe make that noted in the minutes, please.
Thanks, Russell. I didn't want to scare Matt the first night in. All right. Minutes for meeting of November 17th. Do I have a motion to approve?
A motion. Oh, sorry. We're just on it today.
I'll take the first from Amy and the second from Tricia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved for November 17th. Number 5, PACE loan request for Twin State Environmental.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. This is a PACE request for $269,231 for Twin State Environmental. I'll invite Mr. Hatcher to come up and give background on our applicant, and then I'll end it with financial information.
Thank you, Chairman Friedolfs, members of the Growth Fund Committee, Kevin Hatcher, Business Development Manager of the Grand Forks Region EDC. Speaking on our request for Twin State Environmental, I see we have John Walters, the Director of Twin State Environmental online here. John, is Scott available? Is he online as well?
Yep, we're both are in the room.
Outstanding. So we have John Walters, Director of Twin State Environmental, and Scott Tinsman, the founder of the company, here as well. So a little background with the company: they're Iowa-based, family-owned business for 7 years. That's the Twin State Incorporated company that's applied in that application there. They have different arms of the organization. related to agricultural fertilizer businesses, fertilizer manufacturing facilities, retail sales. In this instance, with Twin State Environmental, it's related to this new tech and innovative Raptor cleaning system. And the unique thing with this system, this technology, it eliminates human entry into rail car tanks. Typically, with rail cleaning systems, you have a person go in a rail tank and do the cleaning for oil tanks, such as products like ethanol, vegetable oil, crude oil, and asphalt. What this technology is doing, it's utilizing a robotic arm to do the cleaning solution into these tanks. Additionally, it's a primary sector certified company here, expanding in Grand Forks. The fascinating thing where we get that primary sector parameter is the remaining oil that's being cleaned out. It's getting introduced back into the market. So we're talking the oil from vegetable, crude, so on and so forth. It's getting back in the market, whereas typically you would see that getting eliminated through waste here. So very fascinating technology and an opportunity to expand here in Grand Forks. So talking about that expansion, so the project is going to be on the very north end, kind of where Epitome Energy's location is, just further north at the tip there, in basically in Grand Forks County. They're looking to have a 20-year lease agreement on 5 acres owned by Total Transcare, Northern Plains Rail, AKA, to do this operation here. They're going to construct about a 5,700 square foot facility, add in some rail and utility infrastructure to assist for this technology for those rail cars to go into the service, get them cleaned out, and then get them back into the market. So total project that we have listed here is about 4.6 million. And I'll turn it over actually to Anna here that can get into the details. And again, John and Scott's available if there are any questions.
Thank you. So again, this request is for a PACE loan of $269,231. The company does expect this will create 6 new full-time employees with an average hourly compensation of $28 in wages and benefits. The term of this loan will be deferred for 60 months and then will be repaid in a balloon payment, and the interest rate is at 1.75%. This will be subordinate corporate guarantees from different entities that are listed in the staff report. And as proposed, the JDA would be subordinate to a Quad City Bank loan of $3.8 million, putting the total loan to value at approximately 88.27%. So happy to stand for any questions, and Scott and John are online as well.
Just a comment. Again, we appreciate you investing in Grand Forks. And a couple of things that stand out for me is innovation, right? This is like something that we just pride ourselves on, having to be able to take out the human element and put in a robotic arm and be able to clean it and then put the stuff back into the market is great. So I think this is a prime example of what we pride ourselves on. So thank you.
Mr. Friedolf, one thing I also heard at the EDC board is, and maybe Mr. Hatcher, you can speak to this, but they are, it's outside the city of Grand Forks, so they are receiving, I think, proposed to receive a county incentive. The city won't be involved because it's outside the city limits. But the other thing I did hear in the EDC board, I think they were having to invest, I thought I heard the number over $3 million to put in offsite infrastructure, electrical and what have you. So I think that's another part of this large investment that they're taking on that I think should be highlighted, and that most companies don't have to do. They're going to have to do this because they are in a location where they have to bring in the infrastructure. That's what I also heard as an added benefit to the project, but what this company is having to do.
Yeah, thank you for that, Todd. So what Todd is mentioning here too, you may have seen it in the news too, through the Herald, that they are also going through the public process through the county commission for a 5-year declining property tax exemption. That's going to be moved forward for final action on Tuesday, March 3rd. So this is another example between working in partnership between the city of Grand Forks for an exciting project opportunity in the region, along with support going through the process with the county as well. So it's a collaborative effort for us to get this company to expand in the region.
Do you have any questions online?
Yeah, I have questions.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Okay, my first question is, this company is not really from our area. So has anybody done any type of national security checks on them to see who their investors actually are?
So what I can say is, meeting with the company, actually met with Scott Tinsman III. He's online here. This is a family-owned operation based out of Iowa for about 70 years. And maybe I'll even turn it over to Scott and John here, who can elaborate a little bit further about the history of the company.
Absolutely.
I guess one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I guess one thing that really bothers me is we were given, you know, documents from CFIUS on how to properly vet these companies. And has anybody even looked at that checklist or even filled it out on this company?
Ms. Osowski, I guess we haven't gone through and done like a score sheet or anything like that on these companies. In meeting with the companies and with the EDC, you know, we try and learn as much as we can about the companies. We go through their application, provide as much information as possible, including about the investors and that sort of thing that is listed, included in the staff reports, the ownership makeup, I should say. But in terms of going through and doing like a score sheet or a scorecard, I don't. That's not part of our current process. But
all right. Another question I have is it lists that there will be 6 full-time employees that'll be hired on to this company. Are these people going to come from our general area, or what kind of, you know, are these going to be blue collar, white collar?
Yeah, I can chime in, Rebecca. I'm Scott Tinsman. I started our company about 10 years ago. Our parent company was started by my grandfather, another Scott Tinsman. He was first, I'm the third. Started in 1958. We're still 100% family owned and operated. And we have been growing ever since then. We've never had layoffs with the company. We have no debt either. So to answer your first question, we are registered for the state. We actually do business in North Dakota. We have an operation in Richardson, North Dakota, and also our primary sector certification. We had to fill out a significant amount of paperwork. I don't know if you've had to go through that before to be vetted, which includes, you know, injuries, and they do find out a lot about you between that process and also applying with the PACE loan. Sharing all the financials, business models, whatnot with the Bank of North Dakota. So I do think we have not done a scorecard, but you have been, your North Dakota agencies have been quite a bit of doing evaluation, and we are currently in North Dakota doing business. In terms of answering your question about the $28 an hour, 6 people hired for the first year, that number does grow every year after that. They're primarily blue collar, so we build a robotic wash system. So we're looking for robotic operators. So I don't know if that's kind of merging between blue and white, but we are looking for people that are working with their hands, that are running control systems, kind of like what you'd find at a refinery or a chemical plant. They're not actually physically doing the work, right? They're not in there with buckets and shovels and pressure washers, so it's not like that type of blue collar. Our goal is to keep people out of the tanks. And one thing that that Kevin mentioned about primary sector certifications, yes, we do the recovery and upcycling of the oil. But one of the main, if not the most main reason why we got primary sector certification is the fact that most of the rail cars that we're cleaning are going on the Northern Transcontinental Railroad, on the BNSF Railroad. So all of the business and almost all of our business and sales are having to do with the rail cars originating outside of the state or outside of the country, coming from places like Canada with canola oil. And that fact that we're bringing those revenue dollars that are not in North Dakota now, and there is no other business in North Dakota doing this, into the state of North Dakota is one of the reasons why we did meet that primary sector certification with the state secretary.
Okay, and so you met that primary sector with the state of North Dakota, you're saying then?
Yeah, yes.
Right, okay. Have you guys signed the land lease yet?
Partially, yes. It is we have a letter of intent signed with them. The land lease actually doesn't start until the last day of construction. So we haven't started construction yet. Our holdup is the dollars to do the project. That the council heard our investment into the site is somewhere between $5 and $7 million. We're trying to get the last amount of dollars estimated from Northern Plains. Half the construction work will actually be done by North Dakota, probably the Grand Forks residents, because Northern Plains wrote a stipulation that they have to perform the work for the rail track. So that's one of the infrastructures that we have to put in, as well as bring all the utilities to the property. In terms of hiring, I missed one of your questions. In terms of hiring, we are looking to hire people from Grand Forks. We actually want to be in Grand Forks. You guys have a very educated basis. We like the fact that the university is there. And so we want to be part of that labor pool and pull from that pool.
And very pro-business as well.
Okay, thank you. Andy, I think this is a question for you. Do we normally give out loans that are just balloon payments?
Typically for the PACE program, it's amortized over a 12 months at post, post deferral period. It's typically amortized over 12 months. So typically, I guess we don't structure them as a balloon payment. It's not uncommon for us to just receive a balloon payment from a borrower once that deferral period's over. In this case, that was the request up front, is to just structure it as a balloon payment. So that's what's been presented tonight. But generally, there are 12-month amortizations that we typically see requested.
Okay, thank you. I guess I have a lot of issues with this. One, I don't like the 60-month deferred time period and like the balloon payment. I would rather collect payments like on a normal payment schedule. I also have a big concern about, not only are they asking for a loan from us, but now they're going to go to the county and they're going to try to get tax breaks. And I 100% disagree with that. And I would be maybe more on board with this if we were getting paid, but I do not like the 60-month deferral period at all. So unless that changes, I'm a hard no.
Chair Friedels, maybe I could have, you've had several PACE and FlexPACE loans in front of you over the years. So maybe, Andy, you could explain generally how PACE loans go from both the city's growth fund and also with the Bank of North Dakota.
Sure. Yep. So functionally how the process works is that you'll see the B&D portion and community portion of these funds goes into an escrow account with the Bank of North Dakota. They are drawn down over that 60-month term. It's drawn down over the term of the commercial note to buy down the interest over that time. That's why that deferral period is in there, is to allow the buy down to actually occur. If we give the loan and then immediately start collecting on it, the funds aren't, the buy down's not really, the value is gone of the buy down. So that 60-month term is certainly not just a request from this company. That's a program standard for this type of project based on the type of project it is. So that's where that piece comes in. And again, like I said, it's in partnership with the Bank of North Dakota. These funds go to, not to this company, the funds go to the Bank of North Dakota in an escrow account that's managed by the Bank of North Dakota and is dispersed by the Bank of North Dakota over the life of that buy down term. The funds aren't just given to this company to do with whatever they will. They're sequestered in that B&D controlled fund.
I would, Mr. Chair, I'd say one more thing is, just so everyone knows, we do, as we've said, we do three things to bring primary sector companies in. One is what you're doing this evening with the PACE program. Number two is with incentives that the county is working on. And number three is infrastructure. And as I noted, the third part is that they're paying for all of that up front. And oftentimes we know with city council meetings, we're helping to support some of that investment. In this case, they're paying for that investment, which is significant as part of this project.
Yeah, that does
So
not.
I have one more question though.
Go ahead.
Are they getting a loan from the Bank of North Dakota, or are they getting a grant from the Bank of North Dakota? Because when I'm looking at it, I'm reading that they're getting a loan from Quad City Bank and Trust, and I guess I don't even know who that is.
So the mechanics of how the project generally works is that the company takes out a loan with their commercial lender, in this case Quad City Bank and Trust. They'll finance the actual project. The Bank of North Dakota grant portion and the Grand Forks Growth Fund's loan portion buy down the interest on that commercial loan, on the Quad Cities Bank and Trust loan that finances the project. Our portion and B&D's portion go into that that sequestered account, that escrow account, to, over the deferral period, over the term of the loan, buy down the interest on the commercial loan, if that makes sense.
I will also mention, Rebecca, I very much respect that, we don't want to ask for help if we can develop a site ourselves. We developed our Richardson facility without asking for any grants, which this PACE application is somewhat like a grant, like you mentioned, as well as the property tax deferral. Our cost to develop the property is almost double in Grand Forks what it was in Richardson due to the lack of infrastructure, which is why we're going through this process, because we're not able to make the numbers work like we did, and we wouldn't ask for help if it wasn't what will make the difference in making the project go through.
Okay, thank you. I guess that brings up one more question. It does state in here that our loan to value is at approximately 88.27%. Does that mean that 88.27% of this project is out on like loans, and you're going to have to pay that back?
So the way loan to value works, it's a comparative ratio of the debt for a project relative to the value securing it. In this case, we have the loan to value, the debt relative to the value of the project is 88.27% in this case.
Yeah, and what I would add into that too, with that, if you look through the sources, you see the order equity of that 809,000 roughly. That does not include the infrastructure that they are investing in, that Mr. Tinsman has been mentioning as well.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rebecca. I think, Russell, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Friedhoff. First of all, Scott and John, appreciate you guys, the investment in the community. To kind of piggyback a little bit, Mrs. Salsky, to kind of the way I'm thinking of it, at least, is the big difference. We can have a philosophical conversation about pace and flex pace and all that. That's a different conversation. B&D, they have their process, we have our process. But I think the big difference between this one versus other pace loans that we've seen is the infrastructure component. So, I wish these guys the best. I hope they're super successful. Hopefully you can double your scale and totally follow the economics, Scott, of the value added dollars outside coming in. I think that's one of the basis of economic development. But the big difference too is, so I hope you guys are successful, but even if they are not, they're paying at their own risk to improve land with infrastructure. So something goes awry for them. Well, the community is still left with that, right? So they are providing value. It's not necessarily that we're funding some specialized equipment that they're going to take, and then if it doesn't work, well, that doesn't really help anybody else, right? So of course, we wish everybody the best success, but I think that's a big difference between this application and previous applications that we've seen, is just that they are making a big sizable investment into the community and into the region, and I think that in my mind, that warrants a lot of value. It just helps hedge our risk a little bit, right? But does lead me into a question, I guess, and I'm not going to ask you guys on the spot to change lenders. One thing I'd be remiss to not mention is that, obviously I fully get it. I'm a small business owner. We have lenders that we know, we like, and they know our business and our model. It would be nice to see maybe not now, but in the future to, give a local lender a chance at earning your guys' business, and whether that's a refi down the road or an expansion or whatever it might be. I would just encourage you guys to, we have a lot of really, really great local lenders that I'm sure would love to take a stab at earning your guys' business. And, I just would like to maybe put a plug in for them. I'd like to see as much, again, for the dollars, right? Like you talked about, same thing. We want to keep as many dollars in the community as possible. And so just kind of wanted to, not going to put you on the spot to tell you to switch lenders at this point, but just put a plug in there for the future, I guess. But other than that, those are just kind of my couple comments. I don't have any direct questions for you guys. Just appreciate you guys' investment in the community, and sounds like some pretty cool tech, and wish you guys the best.
Yeah, thanks, Russell. I appreciate the comments, appreciate the hopes for future success as well. And just to let you know, we have had a couple of lenders that have reached out to us that we have their contact information, and you never know what'll happen down the road too.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do it for the PACE application, but all of our products that we manufacture ourselves, our robots we manufacture ourselves, we are a U.S. company. We manufacture in the United States. We manufacture local and we hire local.
Yep.
So we very much support your sentiment.
I appreciate that. And maybe one other additional comment, and apologize for Scott and John having to hear us kind of go through our processes on the back end. But, it might not be a horrible idea. CFIUS can be, they gave us a playbook, but that might be a lot more difficult for staff. Is it possible, maybe Andy, I'll kind of put this on you and team to think through, just with the new FinCEN regulations coming out. I know, like for us, for all any entities that we have or pass-throughs, it's going to essentially org chart it out pretty easily. Is it possible to maybe entertain that where, obviously held in confidence, but potential future applicants can submit their org chart via like same thing like they're already doing for FinCEN, so it's not a burden for them, but you can see exactly who the BOI is, who the beneficial ownership is. And I don't know, that might just be an easier way to not burden staff, not burden companies, because we don't want to add red tape for people, but also to Mrs. Howski's point, and like she has mentioned before, provide some of that comfort that you can see, drill down to the actual individual level, who is actually benefiting from the entity. That might not be a horrible idea to try to think through. Just a note for our committee.
That's a good idea, Russell. I actually believe we did have to fill that out for the Bank of North Dakota.
There's definitely an organizational aspect of that paperwork.
Yeah, we can link up with Bank of North Dakota and see. We do know that they obviously do a different level of due diligence up at the Bank of North Dakota. But we can certainly get in contact with them and see, to what degree we can get involved with that or be privy to some of that information, try and streamline things a little bit to accomplish the same goal, like you said.
Yeah, great.
And also, Russell, just so that you know, we've been in kind of lockstep with Ty Zeltinger with the Bank of North Dakota, as well as our local bank. So everything that we have discussed, he has also been a part of too. So just to make sure that all of the information is shared openly, and that way you guys have got the information that you need as well.
Great. Well, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. I'll let anybody else have any questions, but before I make any motions, but I'll let everybody else speak.
Any more questions? No more questions?
I have one more comment. I just do not want to rely on trying to go and get this information from the Bank of North Dakota when we're specifically talking about CFIUS and the playbook that we were handed. So I would like to make sure that it's done on the city end also, so I can actually see it. But thank you.
All right. Do I have a motion for
I'll motion to approve.
a motion to approve?
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. How many people we got here? 5-1? Yep.
Thank you.
Public math. Thank you. Good luck, you guys. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for your time today.
All right. Number 6, loan modification request for safety spec.
If I can
Yes,
I
sir.
jump in quick?
Yes, sir.
I guess a couple things before I jump off. Just to Mrs. Howski's point, I do think that, whether B&D originates it or whoever gets it, I think it'd be relatively easy to have in our file, especially for most of the entities, that are going to have to comply with FinCEN now anyway for financial reporting. It wouldn't be probably overly difficult to get that same documentation just to have in our file, that it drills it down so it doesn't look like there's all these shell companies, this LLC that owns this LLC, this owns this LLC, but drills it down to the individual level. And then I think that, Mrs. Salsky, I think that would help, because I hear what you're saying, and I think it'd be good to have something in the file, and it wouldn't be overly red tape for either staff or applicant. So I do think that's something to entertain. Secondly, I guess I'd have to recuse myself for the next matter, but I have to leave anyway, so I appreciate everybody's time. So, but we still have a quorum, correct?
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for the comments, Russell. So
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
All right.
Thank you, Chairman Friedhoff, members of the committee. So Safety Spec here, one of our Accelerate borrowers is here requesting a loan modification. The purpose is just to give them some greater cash flow flexibility as they move forward. You'll see in the staff report that request is to reduce the monthly payment from its current amount of $26,157 to $10,000 a month. That's accomplished by spreading the loan out over approximately 28 months instead of the current 12. All other terms of the loan, interest, security, et cetera, would remain unchanged. The company's rationale for the request seems reasonable to staff, and they've certainly been timely with all their monthly payments and have been excellent communicators with us throughout this process, which we all know is extremely valuable for us. Ken Barton is here from the company. He can explain far better than I can what the plans look like, the rationale for the request, and that sort of thing.
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman, before Mr. Barton speaks, I just need to either the committee can vote to let me recuse on a vote on this, but Safety Spec is has a touch point to the Center for Innovation as a member. So just wanted to be in full transparency with the committee there on that as well.
All right.
I motion that Amy can vote.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Amy gets to vote. All right. Continue, sir.
Motion passed 3-1. Thank you for having me here. Give you a little bit of an update on Safety Spec. The last time I was here, we told you that we had done an acquisition of a company called Hypermed, basically all their assets. We also have kicked off the ARPA-H grant that you probably have heard of in the paper with UND. Was the total grant's $20 million. I think it's the largest grant that UND's gotten. It took us about a year and a half to be able to make that happen. So we're hitting all our milestones every month. So we get paid on that grant. Typically $200,000 to $400,000 a month. Sometimes it goes down to $1. But that grant's over 3 years. So again, a 36-month period of time, and that covers our overhead for most of the company. The acquisition that we did, it's like I was just thinking out loud. It's like a dog chasing a fire truck. We caught one. I don't know if that makes sense. So we're kind of figuring out what to do with it now. So. Just going through the quality system. So just something we were approved by the FDA or cleared by the FDA. So there is an FDA medical device company, Safety Spec in Grand Forks, that's FDA cleared. We ended up moving about $5 million of inventory into Comdell Innovation in Wahpeton. That inventory is about 5 years old. The technology is pretty incredible. I can basically map the oxygenation of your body surface. So, for example, diabetic neuropathy, I can actually map how your vascular system is working. And if you had a problem with like an ulcer, this technically could be a giant tool to save a lot of feet, if that makes sense. And there's existing CPT codes for reimbursement. But the device right now has an older chip in it, and the interface is again, about 5 years old. So when we basically take the image, it takes about 15 seconds to process that image. So I'm swapping out that chip with a newer chip. What we want to do is actually do an NVIDIA chip, make it smarter as well down the line. And I'm redoing the interface on that. That's not a cheap process to do. And the quality system that we got approved by the FDA, just to put something in perspective, we went and indexed 2.5 million pieces of paper since I was here last time. And we got that approved. So the process now with FDA, we are FDA cleared. So when I swap out the chip, we're not making fundamental claim differences. So as long as I take all the changes and put them in the quality system, we'll still be FDA cleared, which is great. But it's not that simple or easy to do. The grant money is being used really for some other applications. So I'm raising additional outside money to be able to make the modifications so we can actually fully deploy the system. I don't want to deploy the system until I have that chip in place. Because I don't want doctors to wait 15 seconds to be able to see the image. I want them to wait 1 second. And we got one shot at really going to the marketplace. I'm trying to make sure that we're successful while we're there. We are working to launch the product also in the Middle East. All the stuff will be made here. Customer service will be in Grand Forks. And we have distributors in the Middle East that we're negotiating with right now. Diabetes is a big problem there, and we have some champions that like this technology for wound analysis. So with that said, I need to hire a couple of key people. The biggest gap we have is a product guy. So I'm working with Jim Albright at Wahpeton, who are a manufacturer called Comdel Innovation. And they manufacture 8 medical devices for some of the top companies in the United States. And Jim has identified some people that I want to engage that have commercialized medical devices and have them kind of run the change process that I just described to you. And those people they're not cheap, if that makes sense. And I'm paying my bills on time. Not only this loan, but a lot of bills. We're spending a lot of money. But every dollar right now counts for us. It's like super important. And the nexus of lowering the loan amount and extending the time allows me to hire that key product guy as well as somebody else. Because I don't want to hire somebody and not be able to pay them, if that makes sense. And it's only 16 grand, but 16 grand is a lot of money to us. This site that we have on ARPA-H, we're literally spending millions of dollars here a year, literally. And I much appreciate you considering doing the loan modification. We'll be able to pay the bill no matter what, but that will really help us a lot. My goal is to finish closing my Series A round. If I do that anyway, I just want to pay the bill off. You guys actually have a lien against one of our patents, which is a giant pain in the ass for me. Because it's from a due diligence standpoint, I just want to pay the loan off. But right now, if I can buy another 5 or 6 months and have that product guy paid for, that's super, super helpful. Anyway, so I appreciate you entertaining my request.
So again, thank you for what you do here. I was disappointed because last time you brought a demo. So maybe scan one of us, I don't know. But it's in the title of what we do, right? The Growth Fund, and you're growing, which is awesome. And when with your good communication and everything, and I've heard nothing but good things about your company, we appreciate it. And so thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I have a couple of questions too.
Yep.
For this one.
Rebecca?
Yeah, they're up to date on their loan, correct?
Yep,
Yes.
that is correct.
Okay. And then one thing that I'm a little concerned about, it says that 300K plus was paid to UND. Why are they paying the university? I'm confused about that.
The university over the course of years has worked both as a prime and a subcontractor for us. So we work very closely with biomedical engineering. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, a few years ago, we were able to actually get a line item in the omnibus bill. And we actually drove $7.6 million into the university. But we actually hire folks at biomedical engineering. We also have we sponsor a variety of scholarships at the university. So we hire a lot of the postdoc students. So we spend money. Yeah, so we spend money.
But if you want that lien against your patent gone, how come you're not spending money paying us back and you're spending money on all this other stuff?
If I didn't spend that money, we wouldn't be able to meet our development needs to get the milestones, to get the $17+ million in grants we have.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, Amy?
Mr. Barton, thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing to dedicate your time around safety spec and trying to, mature a technology that takes a lot of time to do the validation. I recognize that FDA approval takes years and millions of dollars to get there. So, and you need a lot of technical expertise to be able to get through that FDA approval process. Just wondering, as the company is scaling and you're hiring, the technical talent, how is and what's your kind of growth plan? I think, and this may answer some questions around profitability and paying back and starting to have revenue generating sales. Can you walk through for us kind of your roadmap from technical validation to, sales of your product?
Well,
and what that
technically
looks
we're
like?
validated. We are FDA cleared right now. So we're a fully cleared company. I'm doing modifications on the HyperView product. I don't want to go to market with something that's taking 15 minutes to process something for the doctor. Makes sense. So we should have that completely revised. In my thinking is probably around 4 months. And then we're selling the HyperView products for about $42,000 a piece. We're going to sell a lot of them. We already know we're going to sell a lot of them. So upon doing that, we're going to have a back office, which we're putting here in Grand Forks. We're going to have customer service issues, serviceability issues, all the things you can imagine, and sales. We're working with different distributors really throughout the world. We're in discussions with right now. So I really want to have this product, again, the final product, ready to go within 4 months, so I can actually meet the needs of actually orders that are starting to come in right now. Now, the CSI technology, we are commercial with that, and we're selling the devices right now. Now, the devices work as an ad hoc device, so we can see things like biofilms that are invisible to your eye with this device. But what we're doing now on that end, we have a pilot coming up with the Food Safety Inspection Service, which is a big deal for us. So now for every application, whether it's scanning a hospital, scanning a food processing facility, scanning a clinic of some kind, what we're doing is we're basically creating checklists and generating reports. Because it's, to a certain extent, when you have something you can just scan and you can see things, it's neat, right? But actually, if it generates a report that basically covers, the end client from legal liability, it becomes a tool. So we're in the process of right now of enhancing the CSI technology to have a tool. Now, we think that we'll fully be ready on that end with at least for 2 verticals, to be able to generate reports for 2 verticals. We should have that done 90 to 120 days. So give you a little bit more information on my roadmap. So, right now, my CTO yells at me because he wants me to go sell things. And I don't want to sell it yet. I don't know if that makes sense. We've sold to friendly companies, but I don't want anything gathering dust. I want them using it, and I want it to be put into their workflow. So that gives you kind of an idea. But this year, we're going to be commercial with 2 devices.
Okay, so just I think to understand or be able to make sure. So what you're saying is you think at this point your roadmap is you be commercial ready products within 6 to 9 within the next year.
Yeah, I want to be full on selling 2 products in 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? All right. Do I have a motion to approve loan modification for safety spec?
So moved.
Second.
All right. I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Business park utility easements.
Thank you, Chair Friedel.
All right. And Number 8, information only, past due loan update.
I'll do this really quick and I'll combine 8 and 9 if that's okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
For past due loans, we have to S. Olson Holdings, who has reached out to us. They have made a payment, so they are caught up to date. And then African Arts Arena, I did reach out to him as well, and he will be making a payment, so they will be caught up as well, hopefully by our next meeting. Regarding number 9, we did include the paid off loans. So for 2025, we did have 7 paid off loans, and for 2026, we currently have 3 that have paid off their loans as well. So we are looking good.
Good news. All right, thank you. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
I have a first and a second. We are adjourned.
Welcome to beautiful downtown Grand Forks. It's Monday, February 23rd. This is the time and place for the Grand Forks Growth Fund JDA meeting. Item 1.1, roll call.
Weigel.
Here.
Osowski. Berg.
Here.
Flensky.
Here.
Friedolfs.
Here.
Veen.
Here.
President Sandy.
Here.
And Mayor Paczynski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 2.1 is the Hive Management Agreement. Mr. Conlon.
Thank you, Chairman Weigel, members of the authority. This is really just closing the loop from the February 2nd meeting. At that meeting, we had requested or presented the Hive operational changes we were looking to make and sought authorization for developing a membership agreement that reflects it. Mr. Gosted, in consultation with staff and GF Hive Management, has done that. It's included as part of your staff report. So just looking for approval of that tonight. We've got Mr. Sawyer on the line here too, to speak to or add any comments he'd like to make, and Mr. Gosted available for questions as well.
Thank you, Mr. Conlon. We'll open the public hearing on item 2.1. Is anybody here to speak on item 2.1? Seeing nobody, we'll close the public hearing. Thoughts or comments from the committee?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg.
I'll second.
Second by Friedolfs. Further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Conlon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. Motion to
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Berg, second by Paczynski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned. All right, as Mayor Paczynski exits stage right, we'll call to order the Grand Forks Committee of the Whole meeting for Monday, February 23rd. Item 1 is called to order. 1.1, welcome and roll call.
Weigel.
Here.
Osowski. Berg.
Here.
Lensky.
Here.
Friedolfs.
Here.
Veen.
Here.
And President Sandy.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 2 is informational items. We have none. Item 3 is discussion items. 3.1 is the appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission, which is Kurt Hansen.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Berg, second by Sandy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3.2 is the floodplain ordinance. Looks like, yep. Ms. Collins.
Vice President Weigel and council members, I'm here to present your updated ordinance for your floodplain. The state of North Dakota Senate Bill 2027 has regulated the fact that every community that's in the NFIP, National Flood Insurance Program, must update their ordinances if they haven't been updated since 2020. And we have not updated ours since 2020. This is the same regulations, similar regulation, I should say, not the same. Now we get a lot more pages than we used to, where the city, when they join the program. And the reason we are in the program is so individuals in our community can get flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program. So basically, the ordinances are the same from community to community, from state to state. And this is our ordinance to present.
Thank you, Ms. Collins.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Friedolf, second by Ms. Lunsky. Further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 So same sign. Motion carries unanimously. And just for the record, Ms. Osowski has joined us online. Item 3.3 is plans and specs for project number 8998, 2026 water main replacements. Mr. Danielson.
Thank you, Vice President Weigel, members of the committee. So this is our annual water main replacement project where we go into a neighborhood that's got an older water main and replace it with a new water main. Typically, it's in areas where our maintenance staff is having issues with the water main. This year, we're on Cottonwood Street and 7th Avenue North. There is a typo in your staff report that references 11th Avenue North, so you can disregard that one. It's not on 11th Avenue North. Just one thing to note is that we're going to bid the 7th Avenue North portion of this project as an alternate. If we get good bids on the project, we'll award that alternate. If we don't, don't, we'll save that project for a future year. And then the other thing to note is that we are including lead service line replacements at property owners' option with this project if they desire to do that. It's a program that our Public Works Department's been working on for the past couple of years. So we're going to incorporate it here for those that want it. And right now, we're just looking for
Approval.
Motion to approve by President Sandy, second by Mr. Veen. Question for Ms. Lunsky.
Can you explain how do you work with the homeowners for lead service at the same time?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we will have forms for any property owners that want to have that lead service line replaced. And typically with this project, we would replace a portion of that water service anyway. So we're just going to take it the next step and get it all the way to the building if they want that incorporated with the project. So it's something that our prime contractor would coordinate, and it would just kind of seamlessly work into the project.
So will they get like a postcard or something, or so they don't have to just find the form, right?
Yeah, so we've sent, I think, 3 different letters to the property owners that are adjacent to the project. We've held a public input meeting, all with the notification that this is an option on this project. And at some point on this project, we'll have to shut the water off so that we can start doing some of the work. So any point up till then, we'll have forms on hand on site if a property owner wants to come approach us and get that done. So we're doing our best to make sure everybody knows.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lunsky. We do have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3.4, create special assessment district for project number 9056, district number 367, water main along South 42nd Street, 18th Avenue South to Empire Court. Similar
Motion to approve.
motion to approve by Berg, second by Lentz, second by Osowski. Seeing no further comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
3.5, create special assessment district for project number 9064, district number 800, paving 27th Avenue North, North Washington Street to North 36th Street.
Motion to approve.
Approval.
A motion to approve by Berg, second by Sandy. Seeing no further comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. 3.6, create special assessment district for project number 9049, district number 796, reconstruct 11th Avenue North from North 4th Street to Gateway Drive.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg, second by Friedolfs. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. 3.7, plans and specs for project number 9050, district number 797, and project number 9101, district number 631, reconstruction of 5th Avenue South and storm sewer, Demers Avenue to Washington Street.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg, second by Friedolfs. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3.8, plans and specs for project number 9007, 9008, 9009, concrete subdivision, arterial and street repairs.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg, second by Lunsky. Seeing no further comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
3.9, plans and specs for project number 8850.2, district number 801, paving and streetlights for South 34th Street from 45th Avenue South to 47th Avenue South.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg. Second by Lunsky with a question. Go ahead.
What exactly will they look like?
The paving project?
No, sorry, the street lights.
Oh, they'll be commercial streetlights. They're gonna match what's in that corridor to the north.
Okay.
From the roundabout south, they're all commercial through there.
So I know the city has a few different variations of streetlights. Are we trying to get them all to be the same, or do they differentiate by neighborhood?
So we have generally just commercial and residential, and we do have standards for both of those. Residentials you see in the smaller neighborhoods, and the commercials are for the major corridors, the classified roads and whatnot. So
Okay, and then because I know there's a few different varieties in residential, do they probably phase out, or they're not made anymore and you have to find something new?
maybe Al can speak better to that as the changes over the years, but generally we try to keep a standard. So
Good evening. I'll try to get a little bit of background history on those. Really what we're trying to do is standardize some of our material that we have. We used to be that we only had the commercial, the Cobra heads, the steel Cobra heads that you see. And then the norm of we call the lantern top. Those are pretty common in the neighborhoods. We do have some exceptions to that, though. There are some, and I can think of in the Shady Ridge area, they've got a different kind of a pole there. The thing is, those are quite a bit more expensive, and they don't distribute the light near as well as a lot of our standard fixtures. And then obviously we have different kinds of lights in the downtown area. So we do allow different kinds. We don't want to just open it up to any kind. And usually, when I'm saying that, that's usually more of a specific neighborhood type of a feature. They are quite a bit more expensive, and there are special assessments that go along with those. So. On this particular corridor, we're kind of getting outside the neighborhood already at this point.
Okay,
So
thank you.
it'll tie right into 47th Avenue, which will have the same kind of lighting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grasser. Thank you for the question, Ms. Lunsky. Seeing no further comments, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 310, plans and specs for project number 9060, district number 798, 17th Avenue South, South Columbia Road to South 20th Street.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by, we'll go with Sandy this one, second by Ms. Berg. Further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for coming up. 311 preliminary engineering reimbursement agreement for project number 9105 mill and overlay at North Washington Street, Gateway Drive to I-29.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Berg. Second by, is that you, Mr. Veen?
Yeah.
Second by Mr. Veen. Further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Grasser. 312 award bid for 2026-2 2026 water maintenance parts.
Motion to
Move
approve.
approval.
We have a motion to approve by Sandy, second by Berg. Sorry, Mr. Hanson. Seeing no further comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 4, city council member discussion matters. Ms. Berg, anything?
No, thank you.
Ms. Lunsky?
I just have to point out that the mayor exited stage left.
Sorry.
Stage right.
I need to take a class or two. I was thinking left, but I was like, it's there right. So
You're
I'm-
always the singer.
the
so
people
whatever
are the most
singer.
important, so we're going to go right. I appreciate that tidbit, though. Mr. Friedhoff?
No, sir.
Ms. Osowski?
No, thank you.
Mr. Bean?
No, don't think you.
President Sandy? Thank you. I don't have anything. Is there a motion to adjourn by Berg?
So moved.
Second by Friedhoff? Oh. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned.